right, I start a sentence, these guys finish it. Here we go. Starting with the Packers, who in drafting quarterback Jordan Love have inadvertently lit a fire under Aaron Rodgers. At least that's the speculation. Rodgers' former teammate, James Jones, thinks that's the case, saying, I won't be surprised if Rodgers wins MVP this year. Nick, Rodgers' MVP chances this season are blank.
Smart money. And by smart money, I mean I looked up the odds on Fox Bet, our friends, 20-1. And Jenna, I finally figured out how to explain these type of betting odds to you. He's 20-1. So in order for it to be a good bet, you've got to say if this season was played out 20 times, would Aaron Rodgers win at least one MVP? And my answer is unequivocally yes. Some other bets, by the way, if you're a little interested, obviously Pat Mahomes at 4-1, the best bet on the board. Kirk Cousins, 55-1. I find that a little intriguing. You play the season 55 times. Does Cousins catch lightning in a bottle once? Maybe. But Aaron Rodgers, smart money at 20-1, far smarter than Tom Brady at 25-1, maybe 2,500-1. I mean, come on.
There we go.
Go ahead, Greg Jennings.
For me, it's just good. When you look at just Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, there's a lot of things that play into an MVP winning season. And that's your team and their level and ability to win games. We know they're a good team. They made it to the NFC Championship game. So if they can continue to win, yeah, it's Aaron Rodgers. The odds are always going to be good because of that and that alone. It's Aaron Rodgers. Now, if they had drafted another receiver that we knew would have a drastic impact, and now we don't know if any of the other guys are going to have a huge impact or have this outburst of a season to assist Devontae Adams, that's to be seen. But anytime you have Aaron Rodgers under center and him throwing the football, dropping back against defenses, 2-minute warning, game on the line, you have the level of excitement that it takes to the oohs and ahs to win MVP every single season.
Nick, I'm going to be quick and throw it to you. I like Kyler and Tom Brady to winning co-MVPs like Steve McNair, Peyton 2003. How would the money shake out in your alternate universes if they split the MVPs, which will probably happen?
Okay, there's not going to split MVPs, but then the odds split. It becomes very convoluted and complicated. Kyler's an interesting bet because year two, we saw Patrick and Lamar win MVP in year two, so it's on the board. Russell Wilson, by the way, it's 7-1, Jenna. That's an intriguing one. I'd stay away from Lamar at 6-1. Not enough value there. Go ahead, Jenna.
All right. I appreciate what you tried to do. We're going to try this again tomorrow with you explain it in even simpler terms, and I promise you I'm going to nail it. On to the New England Patriots now. That's why you lost me, third word. They're apparently sticking with Stidham. Our guy, Urban Meyer, was on the herd yesterday singing Stidham's praises, saying, quote, you put Jarrett Stidham with Bill Belichick, get ready. They're going to make that quarterback a great player. So, Nick, Stidham's ceiling this season is blank.
Castle-esque, where a very limited player reaches his apex potential, and it's like, oh, maybe he's good, but he's probably not actually. Castle is 1 year starting with the Patriots, 21 touchdowns, 11 picks. They went 10-5 in his starts. They went 11-5 overall, 89 rating. Convinced my dopey Chiefs at the time to give up 2 second-round picks and give him a bunch of money, and then he turned back into Matt Castle. But with Josh McDaniels, that coaching staff, I think you can piece together, Greg, a palatable quarterback season. Hell, Tom Brady, they had 42-year-old Tom Brady play average last year. It's a great coaching job in that regard. So, yeah, I would say Castle-esque, Greg.
This is a drop ceiling. When you look at drop ceilings, anytime you walk into a building, architectural engineering, it's you don't know what's underneath the drops or above the drop ceiling. The only people who knows are the owners or the person occupying that space. However, if I'm the New England Patriots, Bill Belichick knows what's above his drop ceiling, and eventually he will find a way to go with the trend and say, you know what? Jarrett Stidham might be working out. Let's get rid of this drop ceiling and expose some of this plumbing and just spray it and make it look a little better. I think that's what's going to happen with Jarrett Stidham and the New England Patriots. I think right now we don't know what he is. We don't know what his ceiling is, but we see it's capped. But then eventually they'll start unleashing some of what he can do. We'll take the ceiling down, expose all the plumbing, spray it. It'll look great.
Love it.
It's the trendsetter.
All right, Greg, I grew up in a house with a drop ceiling. You could remove one of the panels and hide a thing of frosting up there that you steal from your mom. Boom, put the ceiling back. No one ever, no one's none the wiser. Jenna, although that was a great memory of me stealing birthday cake frosting, I'm about to do something terrible I said I would never do. To anyone who doesn't think Jarrett Stidham can be a good quarterback, go ahead, Katanik. Put it up. Put it up. Oh, boy, there it is.
Oh, yeah.
There it is. It's my first time.
Oh.
It's my first time. Here's why. Don't try to act like Jarrett Stidham needs to be Tom Brady, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Can Jarrett Stidham throw for 189.5 yards a game? That's what Tom Brady averaged, and that's what won us the Super Bowl. So if you think Jarrett Stidham needs to be as great as Tom Brady, the old people be lying, Jenna. Sorry.
Be lying.
What did I miss? Who's the old people?
You kind of shoehorned
Was it you?
The people that are doubting,
Just kind of like
people that are doubting Stidham, Jenna. He's saying the people who are doubting.
Oh, those are the old people.
That's what he's saying. It's
Gotcha.
a good quote.
Yeah. Any old person.
Now back-to-back stories that I need further explanation on. It's not great for me. On to free agent Jadeveon Clowney now. The three-time Pro Bowl defensive end likely out in Seattle, but is reportedly drawing interest from the Browns, the Titans, the Eagles, the Ravens as well. Nick, Jadeveon's job prospects are blank.
Well, I think they're murky if he wants the type of money that he wants. Listen, I think Clowney's an excellent player who's gotten a bad rap as far as motor and things like that. But he only had 3 sacks last year, and he's yet to have a double-digit sack season in his career. I think he looks at the contract DeMarcus Lawrence got and says, I'm better than him. And I actually agree that Clowney's better than him, but he doesn't have a 15-sack season like DeMarcus Lawrence had in his contract year. So I think they're murky if he thinks he's going to be getting $20 million a year, Greg.
I actually think it's pretty juicy when you look at teams, and again, this whole pandemic is kind of putting a little damper on teams being able to work players out and what have you. But Jadeveon Clowney is a proven player in this league that can pass rush, that can wreak havoc. It's not so much about just creating and getting the sacks. It's about how you impact the game.
Yep.
And if you're talking about these teams having interest, the Ravens, who playoff team, who else was it? The Browns, potential to be a playoff team. The Eagles, obviously they have the potential to be a playoff team. These teams are teams that would love to get a talent like Jadeveon Clowney that could potentially take them over the hump and put them in a position to where they can have a lot of success. I like the options that he has if they're all real options. Juicy.
I'm going with weird, Jenna. Not counting Joe Burrow, you take the last 10 number 1 picks. 2 are retired and 2 are unemployed. It's just bizarre. I hope he ends up on the Browns. They've got so much cap space, but I'm going with weird.
All right. Well, let's end on the New York Jets, who are making a huge, huge move by signing Lamar Jackson. But if it's the last story in our C block, we must be talking about undrafted defensive back out of Nebraska, Lamar Jackson. Oh, we are. I just checked. But I'm sure it'll be just as good. Nick, the Jets signing Lamar Jackson is blank.
I say just like the real Lamar. And why am I saying that? Because I believe that had the Jets drafted the real Lamar Jackson, Adam Gase probably would have tried to make him play corner as well. So, I mean, the Jets are, so it's like, hey, we would have made this guy play corner instead of play quarterback, so we'll have this guy play corner. I feel like that's what Gase would have done. So I say he's like the real Lamar, Greg Jennings.
This was fraudulent, man. I feel like if I'm any Jets fan, if I'm a Jets fan and I heard we got Lamar Jackson and I don't have any TV in front of me or description, I'm like, come on, you don't just say we just acquired Lamar Jackson. Put some preface in front of that and say Nebraska defensive back. Lamar Jackson. You can't just say Lamar Jackson. That's like somebody saying LeBron James and they're talking about their buddy. No, you can't just, no, your buddy is no longer just LeBron James. He's my buddy that I went to high school with that works with me at work, LeBron James, not NBA LeBron.
So, Greg, I feel the same way because the Patriots signed Bill Murray out of William & Mary's, a 6'4", 280-pound defensive tackle, and I thought we had the real Bill Murray on the team.
Oh,
I like
my
it.
God.
All right, let's take a break. Coming up, hey, is Dak's deal ever going to get done, or are people lying? Next on First